Snazzy day, everyone. So today I'd like to share an experience I had with one of my managers, a different one, about seeing her ghost. So one day my manager and I were talking about ghosts, and she describes a ghost that she saw in her house that was tall and black. Kind of like a shadow is basically all she said to me in terms of what this ghost was like. So having seen ghosts before, I remember thinking to myself, great, the ghost probably overheard this conversation. It's probably going to be amused, follow me home, and I'll probably see, this ghost in my house tonight, knowing my luck, right? Sure enough, I did see a tall, thin black ghost wearing this cloak in the doorway. And I remember this ghost was like about 7 feet tall, right? And very thin, like inhumanely thin. And it was wearing a cloak. So when I saw my manager the next day, I told her about this and described the ghost to her. And sure enough, my description was accurate. Now keep in mind that she had only told me that the ghost was tall and black. She never told me about being very thin, or that it was wearing a cloak. So, that was an interesting coincidence, right? So anyways, I see this ghost, and the ghost is kind of like a typical ghost trying to freak you out, like making the little scary ghost noises, like, woo, and it would also stretch his body out, like in this contortion, trying to freak me out. And I just look at the ghost and tell the ghost, you don't scare me. Show me something I haven't seen. So we just would have little friendly banter, since this ghost wasn't evil. Mischievous, like a typical ghost, sure, but that's kind of like, the difference between a child playing a harmless prank on someone versus a person who murders someone. Murdering someone would be evil, right? Whereas playing a little prank on someone is just your typical mischievous ghost. Or at least this was how her ghost was. So the nights and days go by, and this ghost would visit me occasionally. And a few months later, I see her ghost, and the ghost tells me to tell my manager to break up with her boyfriend. And then says, boyfriend's name, bad! Boyfriend's name, bad! And I tell the ghost, it's not really my place to tell my manager what to do with her personal life, or what she should do with her personal relationships. So I can't really do anything. I'm sorry, but I just can't, is what I told the ghost. So the following Monday, after that night had occurred, my manager tells me that her boyfriend had hit her that last weekend, which was shocking to me, since I realized the ghost had been trying to warn me, trying to protect her. So I didn't really say anything to my manager about this, since I was just kind of a little shocked at the time. And she was still dating her boyfriend too, right? So I'm not one to tell people really what to do like that. That's just yuck. But a few years later, though, I did tell her, since she had broken up with her boyfriend, and I was visiting her in her store when the topic of ghosts came up. So I told her about what this ghost had told me and what had happened years ago, when her ex-boyfriend hit her, like right before. And she says to me, wow, that's really funny, because I'd only see that ghost when this ex-boyfriend and I had been arguing. And then once we broke up, I stopped seeing this ghost. So, coincidence? I think not. Woo! Have a good night.